become old hat for you?
Absolutely not, no. I've been nominated a few times. I've won 2 of those lovely Agatha teapots. No, it doesn't. I think there's a writer, and I'm not sure whether it's public or not, so I won't say the name, but there is a writer who's won a lot of awards and has asked that she not be considered because she thinks it's someone else's turn. And I really admire that and really think, whoa, I can't imagine ever doing that. I can't imagine thinking, I've had enough Agatha teapots. I don't want to be considered for this award again. You know, I think she's just a better person than me. But no, I was thrilled. And it's a phone call. The wonderful thing about the Agathas is it's not just an email. Someone from the board of Malice Domestic calls you up to tell you over the phone. When she must get such tinnitus from people squealing down the phone as she calls everyone. So no, it was very exciting, and I've still got the phone call. She left a message to start with, and I've still got it saved on my phone.
That's very nice. Well, it's well deserved.
Thank you.
Is one of my favorites.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind.
I have read them all, and I've enjoyed every one of them. And I've seen her blossom into a more mature lady. I remember, I think the first book, she was sitting on a bench, wondering what to do.
She was a bit hapless.
Yes.
Yeah, her and me both. But I was learning, that was my first book. It was her first case and it was my first book. So I feel as if we were hand in hand, wondering what to do. Probably both of us are a bit less overwhelmed by the task now after, 14, 15.
Is your husband like you?
God, no. My husband, Neil, he's a scientist. So he's a plant disease epidemiologist.
Oh.
So he does work in agriculture like Hugh does. And he is Scottish, like you. But no, he's not like you at all, thank God. He's not like Alec either, which is a shame. But he's not like Hugh. It's of its time, that marriage between Dandy and Hugh. It's an alliance. It's a social contract.
Yes.
Not a great romance.
Right.
I think they're okay. One person in all the years that I've been writing Dandy has said, I think it's a wonderful depiction of a good marriage. And I thought, wow. That says a lot about what goes on inside your house.
Absolutely.
But they've had a couple of tender moments. There's one time when Dandy wants to get rid of Hugh because he's asking awkward questions and she's in her bedroom, like Downton Abbey, separate bedrooms. And to get rid of him, all she does is stand up and put her hand to her neck as if she's going to undo a button and he's gone. Exactly. That's too much intimacy. But it's of its time. They're very civilized.
Catriona, we thank you for taking time to talk with us. Wish you all the best. Good luck with the award. We're rooting for you.
Oh, that'll be so wonderful because we're not all getting together this year. I really look forward to it. It'll be so great to hear that podcast. Thank you.
Keeping fingers crossed that next year we can all be together.
Surely.
It'll be a grand celebration.
Yes, it will.
Oh, won't it? I know. Yeah, it'll be fantastic when we all see each other again.
Yes. Well, Catriona, thank you again and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We would like to welcome Christina Lane to the program. She has a fascinating book that's been nominated for an Agatha. It's called Phantom Lady. Hollywood producer Joan Harrison, the forgotten woman behind Hitchcock. Welcome, Christina.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you very much.
What drew you to Joan Harrison?
I'm excited to talk about Joan Harrison. I initially was just drawn to all of the women behind Hitchcock. I found that there were so many influences in terms of his career, that there were a lot of different women who had been collaborators with Hitchcock. I guess I first wanted to write a book about so many of them, and then eventually I had to narrow it down to one and realized I wanted to write a biography. And Joan Harrison was the obvious one to do because she had collaborated with him for so many decades, from the 1930s through the 1960s. Apart from his wife, Alma Revel, who we could talk about, a little bit later, she was the obvious choice.
Yeah, that's the one I would think you would write about. What I've read about her, she was sort of a behind-the-scenes woman. I guess that's why they call her the Forgotten Woman.
I mean, they actually did a screen test of her when she first joined the Hitchcock team because she's so beautiful. She was a stunning blonde. One of the things I say in my book is that I really believe she was an inspiration for Grace Kelly and Kim Novak, the Hitchcock blonde. When she did the screen test, it was clear that she really couldn't act very well. She didn't have a lot of talent in front of the camera. Her skills were just so great in terms of screenwriting and storytelling that that's where she belonged.
How did you feel when you got your nomination?
I'm just so delighted to be kind of joining this community of mystery writers, kind of finding myself in this community. I really have for so many years written more academic books and written more in the line of film history and film studies. So for me, this is really a true honor, and it's just a lot of fun to be reading these books because now I'm in a different community. I'm in the Agatha community. But also, before I was nominated, it just happened that I was reading a whole lot of Agatha Christie during the pandemic. I've been immersed in Agatha Christie. I decided to start reading from the very beginning of her books. It was truly like a sweet surprise to be nominated because of that.
We go to Malice every year.
Wow.
Have you ever been?
No, I mean, I'm going to be involved in the virtual, conference.
Right.
I plan to attend, but no, I've never been to the in-person conference.
It is amazing.
Really?
We have such a good time, and you meet so many wonderful writers and readers. It is really quite the event. Maybe next year we'll get.
And it's a plan for me. It's a plan for me to attend as soon as there's an in-person as well. I can't wait to go.
Right. Where are you located?
I'm in Miami, Florida.
Down in warm weather.
Yes. Yeah.
This book is one of I believe there were 5 books nominated for the nonfiction section of the Agatha Award. You have a lot of talented people that are on the list with you.
I'm just happy to be in the category. It's one of those things of just being happy to be nominated. It's just a wonderful shortlist of authors, so-called competing with. It's true.
I'm not familiar with your writing. How did you get started as a writer?
I became really interested in film, and particularly classical Hollywood film, when I was in my 20s. Partly, I think I just becoming aware of kind of issues around women's rights and women's stories. That's how I entered into my love of cinema, because I felt, I don't know, I guess the way I put it is, you can kind of change the world through film. It was almost as though I was watching a lot of contemporary movies made by women filmmakers that had interesting ways of storytelling, while I was also watching a lot of classical Hollywood movies and interesting representations of women that people kind of cast off as stereotypes, but I found really complicated. Betty Davis movies and Joan Fontaine movies and Barbara Stanwyck movies. When I was kind of coming into my own awareness of the world, I was putting all this together in ways that I wanted to explore further. So I wound up in graduate school in a film studies program. And from there, I written books that do focus on women directors. I wrote a book called Feminist Hollywood, From Born in Flames to Point Break, which looked at women directors from the 1980s and 90s, kind of counter cinema and the way that alternative women filmmakers' movies changed when they went into Hollywood. That was actually about 20 years ago. Then I've just written a lot of articles on Sofia Coppola and, Catherine Bigelow. And, the truth is actually a lot of filmmakers that look at thrillers, like women's thrillers, right? And suspense movies. For me, this is all connected because I think that a lot of the psycho-thriller movies that I'm interested in today go back to, say, noir and the movies that Joan Harris in the 1940s.
Yes. We wish you all the best. We wish you good luck with the nomination. I hope you win.
Thanks.
We will be looking forward to having you on as a winner.
Well, that's really nice of you to say.
The Agatha Award for this year. Hopefully talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the time you've given me and have a really good evening.
Thank you, Christina.
I hope you enjoyed getting to know some of the nominees this year. I wish we had time to interview every single one of them. We've gotten to speak to a lot of them over the years, and we wish every single nominee the best of luck. We wish they all could win. So much talent. Well, that brings us to the end of another episode. We hope that our friends in the United States had a wonderful 4th of July. We hope our friends in Canada had a lovely Canada Day. If you're celebrating anything else across the world, happy. See you next time.